Welcome, folks. I'm Sam Faddis. This is Ground Truth, and today we're talking about the recent shooting at Pensacola Naval Air Station. December 6th, last Friday, there was a shooting at Pensacola Naval Air Station. A Saudi military student, Mohammed al-Shamrani, in the United States to undergo flight training at Pensacola Naval Air Station, opened fire on individuals in a classroom on the base, killed 3 individuals, wounded 8 others, was then subsequently killed himself by sheriff's deputies responding to the incident. It appears that Shamrani was a member of the Saudi military, that he was here going through basic pilot training. There are thousands of foreign students that do this in the United States every year. And all indications are that his motives were extremist, were ideological, that this was an act of terrorism. In fact, there are suggestions, already reports, that he in fact hosted some sort of party at his residence a few days before the attack, at which other Saudi students, along with Shamrani, were viewing videos of previous mass shootings and previous attacks. Also, substantial reporting that Shamrani posted online before the attack what amounts to a will, sort of a manifesto. This seems to now be standard operating procedure if you're getting ready to do something absolutely horrific. And in this statement, this will, this manifesto, quoted bin Laden, talked about how evil the United States was, of course, and justified what he was about to do in terms of ideology. So, a lot of investigation still ongoing, obviously. It's only been a matter of days. There are reports that other Saudis have been detained. There are suggestions that some Saudis were in fact observing the attack. There are reports that at least one Saudi student at the base was in fact filming the attack, and even that now reports that some Saudis may have gone missing and are being hunted for in the United States. All this will shake out. Here's something we do know, something that is crystal clear from an intelligence and counterintelligence perspective. In order for this kind of thing to have happened, there have to have been absolutely catastrophic failures at a whole series of points, failures on a scale that frankly are almost unimaginable. Let's just review in summary form. This guy is a Saudi military officer who is selected for flight training in the United States. So first of all, he's got to be part of the Saudi military. Saudi Arabia has had for a very, very long time a huge problem with Muslim extremism on its own soil. And that problem has risen to the level long since where it's a threat to the monarchy, a threat to the stability of the regime. So the Saudis spend a lot of time scrutinizing their own military, looking for the possibility that they have traitors within. Somehow this guy slipped through all of that. Then he was selected to go to flight training in the United States, a very prestigious training, very expensive training. So there's going to be additional scrutiny on the Saudi side of the ledger at this point. Who are we sending? We're about to spend a lot of money. We're about to train this guy in how to fly the most advanced aircraft on the planet. Let's make sure that he's a friend. But that's all in Saudi Arabia. Now let's move to the United States. This guy has to get a visa. He has to be processed through Department of State channels. He has to be processed through Department of Defense channels. That means every database imaginable, every source of intelligence we have imaginable has to be consulted. Homeland Security, Counterterror Center, all of this stuff. Every piece of information CIA has, DIA has, NSA has on this guy should have been accessed. Now we bring him to the States, where he's apparently been since August of 2017. So well over 2 years he's been on U.S. soil with access to a U.S. military base, being trained the most advanced equipment, most advanced airframes on Earth. And one would hope to God that during that time that the Department of Defense has a very robust counterintelligence apparatus, that we don't just bring the guy in, turn him loose, and hope for the best, but that he and all other foreign students, and particularly those from countries that are known to have problems with extremism, would be monitored and watched and observed. And yet it seems like none of that happened here. Because not only did this guy end up committing an act of terrorism on our soil, inside one of the most secure bases on the planet, but he doesn't appear to have been hiding his ideology particularly effectively. As I mentioned earlier, a matter of days before the attack, this guy is apparently hosting an event at which he is openly discussing, openly viewing videos of mass shootings and terrorist attacks. A whole lot of questions got to be answered here. For 3 years now, at least, we have seen the very top levels of the U.S. law enforcement and counterintelligence apparatus engaged in an effort to depose a duly elected president. We have witnessed politicization at the most senior levels in our bureaucracy, that bureaucracy that's supposed to be keeping us safe. And one can't help but wonder now if maybe Mr. Brennan, Mr. Comey, and all of their henchmen should have been spending a little more time doing their jobs and protecting American citizens and not playing politics. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Ground Truth.